Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the build series. Yesterday, or the last video where we left off, got the brackets all built up, tacked in, and on the axle anyways. So today we're going to go ahead and finish welding those in and then start tackling the last coil. Well, no, we're not going to tackle the last coil bucket. We're going to go ahead and cycle the suspension and verify that the passenger coil bucket is good to go. So let's get to work. So I got to do what I can today because the wife is not home and I'm using her spot to work on the axle. Got a nice little storm coming in that it's going to cause her to not be able to go to work tomorrow. So I got to get this done today so the rest of the work can be done over there while the Bronco's sitting here. I like the Vulcan welding wire. 030 is what my machine runs. It's what my nozzle and everything's set up. Eventually I might bump it up to the 35. But I've had good luck with the 030 from Harbor Freight. Now we're moving. We are going to see if we can make some clearance for my track bar, my pitman arm. I moved the axle back a little bit and I shimmed the track bar this direction on the mount. The mount's a little wider than what my track bar is, so I've got some shims in here. So I shimmed that. There's a little bit of contact. I marked it with a marker. I don't know if you can see it, but you can also see where it's rubbing. So that rough country track bar is a solid track bar. So it's a solid cast something, but it's pretty beefy. So I'm going to take some 60 grit on the angle grinder and see if I can't knock some of that down. And then when I stuff the passenger side, it has enough that it can just kind of slide right on by. So I'm gonna get set up. I've got the grinder set up. I need to get my mask or my hood, and I'll set you up to where you might get first front row view of it. Look at this. His new thing has been jumping up on your shoulders. You wasn't in the last video at all, I don't think. All right, let's get to work. Okay, so I've got the pitman arm and track bar clearance enough that at full bump on the passenger side, turn fully passenger, I get full stroke of the gearbox. So now I can actually move the tower in to give myself even some more separation because I got a pretty good amount of clearance right here. So we're going to cut the off. I'm going to grind down some of this so I can slide the whole thing back a little bit further. We're going to shoot for maybe a ½ inch and do the full swing of the axle again. I really probably need to order some limit straps, but we'll figure that out once I get this all in position. I think maybe my whole 4.5 inches of shock showing at ride height to give myself 4.5 inches of up travel. That might not be anymore. We're gonna find out once I move this back a little bit, and then we'll set the axle back to ride height and we'll measure how much shaft is showing then. All right, let's go take a little bit off here and test fit it again. And I really don't want to take off much. I want to take off this angle. So I kind of want to leave this the same. Or if I just take off like that much. So now I'm definitely back, probably a half an inch further back. That'll definitely get me some more separation that I need. I may have to tilt that a little bit. Take that tower and tilt that tower some. I don't know. Let's see what it looks like at ride height, because that's full stuff. My little ventilation system works pretty decent. Got it up and over, down, running out the door. Although it's, temperature's dropping 40 degrees as we speak. We're testing this out again. I've moved some things, and we need to cycle the suspension one more time before we fully burn it in. But I think we might be in a good spot, so we're gonna cycle it. We're gonna burn it. Hopefully it works, because that shit ain't coming off. That's a lot of weld. Ugh. Did a root pass, and then I did 2 passes over top of it. So 3 passes per. We are gonna say that that's why the welds don't look the greatest, because I did it 3 times. Sometimes 4. It's gonna hold. I don't have any doubt about that. Yeah, so now we just gotta match it on the other side. I got everything in place. I got my full bump, and then we get measurements, and then we go to the other side and match it. So fully burn in. Gonna let her cool, wipe it down, slap some paint on it, and we're gonna check this side off.